Hello everyone, my name is Yashavadia and today I am going to explain you how to make use case and activity diagrams. So let's get started. First we will understand use case diagrams. A use case diagram is used to represent the dynamic behavior of a system. It encapsulates the system's functionality by incorporating use cases, actors and their relationships. It models the tasks, services, and functions required by system of an application. The core purpose of use case diagram is to help understand system requirements, identify actors, and define functionality of a system. So now we will look up to components of use case diagram. So basically there are four components: actors, use cases, relationships, and system boundary. Actors are represented by this symbol. Use case are represented by this oval structure entitled with its name. Relationship is defined by this arrow connecting use case to the actor, and system boundary is defined by this rectangular box entitled with its name. In this example, we can see this customer is an actor performing various use cases. This online electrical appliance store is its system boundary. Now we'll look upon these components further. Actors are usually involved with system defining according to their roles. The actors can be human or external system. A use case describes how actors use a system to accomplish a particular goal. Use cases are typically initiated by a user to fulfill goals, describing the activities and variants involved in attaining the goal. The relationships between and among the actors and use cases are defined by relationship. The system boundary defines the system of interest in relation to the world around it. Now we'll see how to draw use case diagram. So there are several steps by which we can draw use case diagram. First is to identify the actor. It determines the external entities that interact with the system you are designing. Second is to identify use cases. Means identify the task or functionality the system should perform. Third is to connect actors and use cases. Draw lines which are defined as associations between the actors and use cases to show their interactions. Fourth step is to create use cases for every goal. Fifth step is to structure these use cases. And sixth step is to organize the diagram. That means arrange the actor and use cases in a logical manner that is easy to comprehend. You can use different level of abstraction or group related to use cases together. Now we will see this example. In this there is a passenger service. यहाँ पे चार एक्टर्स हैं. एक है चेक इन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, दूसरा है पैसेंजर, तीसरा है बैगेज ट्रांसपोर्टेशन और चौथा है कस्टम ऑफ डेस्टिनेशन एयरपोर्ट. यहाँ पे जो चेक इन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है ये बेसिकली चेक इन करवाने का काम करता है. ये प्राइवेट चेक इन कराता है. पैसेंजर के पास चार ऑप्शन है. वो बोर्डिंग कर सकता है, एक्सप्रेस चेक इन कर सकता है, ऑटोमेटिक चेक इन कर सकता है और डायरेक्ट चेक इन कर सकता है. डायरेक्ट चेक इन करेगा तो वो चेक इन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव के थ्रू प्राइवेट चेक इन कर सकता है. जो कस्टम्स हैं जो डेस्टिनेशन एयरपोर्ट के, वो पैसेंजर्स की लिस्ट बैगेज ट्रांसपोर्ट से लेते हैं. तो ये इनके बीच में एक डायरेक्ट यूज केस है. Now we'll understand structuring use cases. UML defines three stereotypes of association between use cases. First is include use case. The time to use include relationship is after you have completed the first cut description of your main use case. You can now look at these use case and identify common sequence of user system interaction. Second is extend use case. An extended use case is effectively an alternate course of base use case. The extend use case accomplishes this by conceptually inserting additional action sequence into the base use case sequence. Third is abstract and generalized use case. The general use case is abstract. It can be instantiated as it cannot incomplete information. The title of an abstract use case is shown in italics. This is example of include use case. In this we can see that if we want to place order, then we have to first log in to the portal so that further we can place order. Means if we want to place order, then first we have to log in. Similarly with cancel order, if we want to cancel this order, then compulsorily we have to log in to the system. In extend use case, we can see that base class is extended by extend use case. Example, if our book is damaged, then we will return the book. In this abstract and generalized use case, we can see that there are two options for verifying visitor's identity. First is to verify fingerprint, second is to verify visitor ID card. In this example, we can see that there are two actors, site user and webmaster. Site user has three use cases: search docs, browse docs, and view events. Search docs include download docs. Search doc also include preview docs, and that can also be done by browsing, because browsing docs also includes preview docs. Webmaster has three use cases: upload docs, post new event to homepage, and add user. Add company is also extended to add user. That means a webmaster can also add a company if he wants to. And similarly, in upload docs, he can also manage his folder. That's why it is represented by extend. Another example is a order food use case. In this, a waiter can perform various use cases, like he can pick confirm order, he can see notifications, he can ship the order, and he can receive the order which is ordered by customer. Similarly, customer has four use cases: that he can place order, he can create account, he can pay for food, and we can see that if customer wants to order juice, then it is the extended use case of order food. This all is bounded under system boundary. Now we'll see the benefits of use case diagram. Use case diagram is a powerful technique for the elucidation and documentation of black box function requirement, because use cases are easy to understand and provide an excellent way of communicating with customers and users as they are written in natural language. Use cases can manage the complexity of large projects by partitioning the problem into major features and by specifying application from the user perspective. A use case scenario, often represented by a sequence diagram, involved the collaboration of multiple objects and classes. Use cases help the identify messages that glue the objects and classes together. Use cases provide a good basic to link between the verification of higher level models between the actors and a set of collaborative objects and subsequently for the validation of functional requirements. Last, use case driven approach provides an traceable link for project tracking in which the key development activities such as use cases implemented, tested and delivered, fulfilling the goals and objectives from the user's point of view. Now we'll understand activity diagram. A UML activity diagram helps to visualize a certain use case at more detailed level. It is behavioral diagram that illustrate the flow of activity through a system. They are similar to a flow chart, but with more specific symbol and notation. The purpose of an activity diagram is to model the behavior of a system or process in a clear and structured way, making it easier to understand and analyze. The main advantage of activity diagram is that they provide a visual representation of complex systems or processes that can be easily understood by both technical and non-technical stakeholder. Now let's have a look at activity diagram symbols. This symbol is initial node, which used to represent the starting or initial state of an activity. Then this is round rectangle represents a specific action or task within a system. It describes operation to be performed or behavior to be executed. Third is action, which is used to represent the executable sub areas of an activity. Fourth is control flow. This is represented by this arrow, which used to represent the flow of control from one action to another. Then this symbol is object flow, which is used to represent the path of moving through the activity. This symbol represents the final node. This symbol represents flow final node, which is used to end the signal of control flow. Next is decision node. It represents a point in the flow where a decision needs to be made. It typically has multiple outgoing paths, each associated with a condition or guard that determine which path to follow based on the outcome of decision. Next is merge node. It represents the merging of multiple paths back into a single flow. It is used when multiple parallel flows converge back to a common point. Next is fork. It is represented by single input and multiple output. Fork indicates the point where a single flow is divided into multiple parallel flows. It represents the concurrent execution of multiple activities. Next is merge. It represents the synchronization of multiple parallel flows back into single flow. It is used when multiple activities running in parallel need to converge. In this example, we can see that this is initial node and we open mail if and then we'll come to decision node in which we will decide whether the mail is important or junk. If the mail is important, we will read mail. If the mail is junk, we will delete mail. And then we will merge our decision by merge node, and then we will end up our path. Next, we will understand activity diagram with swim lane. Swim lanes used to partition the activity diagram horizontally or vertically into lanes. Each lane represents a specific partition or role in the system. Swim lanes help to clarify the responsibility and ownership of activity. Basically, swim lanes are divisions of tasks or use cases performed by individual actors. Means we diversify and differentiate use cases performed by several actors so that it is easy to understand visually what tasks are performed by which actors. We This is an example of activity diagram of order processing. It is basically bifurcated into sim lanes so that it is easy to understand which actor is performing which use case. Thank you.